then more importantly, just kind of give them a roadmap of here's what you're looking for. When we find this, act quick. Again, when we go into contract, I'm not going to pressure you, but well, I would suggest shoot first. We could always ask questions later because that's what we're going to do during the due diligence period. And we know, in a contract, we've always got the opportunity to get out if something is bad.
Mm-hmm.
But usually in real estate, there's always a way to get around the bad. And always prepare them like it's not always going to be immediately passive. This is not going to be mailbox money, right? So as I prepare them for these expectations and then give them, a strategy for getting into it, but then also, giving them that bigger picture of the exit, right? Well, what is the end goal behind this? And that's something I'd always ask is like, why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And if the goal is to, kind of create some passive cash flow, then what does that mean to you? How much money do you need to be able to cover expenses? And so I would just kind of sit there and do, well, what are your current expenses now? What are your expenses on a house? This is what I would do like back in the day in the late 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so um, once we went through that process, a lot of my clients or investors would at least have some peace of mind where they had a sequence of events and things to follow, so they could check the box, as opposed to it being unknown. And and so they'd come to that realization that hey, it's not so much the interest rate because if you're going to a private money lender, you might be paying hard money and it might be much higher than normal. But then you're looking at the big picture. Well, is this a property that I wouldn't be able to acquire, under regular financing? And if I take it under a private money lender where maybe it might be a higher rate, why am I doing that? And what is my end goal so that at some point I could get a lower rate, right? Like so I
Mm-hmm.
would just give them that entry and exit strategy depending on whatever the asset class might be.
Mm-hmm.
Some markets, I've been doing this like 34 years, so I've seen some markets where you're going in with a lot of risk, and then sometimes it becomes more turnkey, and then of course it gets heated up, and then the returns get less and less.
Mm-hmm.
And you always go through these various cycles, right? Um, and so as I kind of give them that big picture, that's one of the other uh, sequences or guides that I'll kind of give them so that way they know what to expect and they can have a little bit more peace of mind